Hey y'all, hey. I'm not gonna be on here long because I don't want to risk my cherished employment status. Hey boy, how you doing? Um, Oops, yeah, so y'all, I can't even show my on here of my job, but I made it through a week. And except for yesterday, I had a boo-boo. I fell in the middle of the street. Um, 4 lanes of traffic, scared to death that I was gonna get ran over. Um, but a good Samaritan did come along and help me up off the ground. But it wound up with two bruised up knees. And it was not pretty. So one knee is still swollen right now. Um, and I guess I came on here to talk about, the ups and downs of getting back in the workforce when you of a particular age. Um, I don't come on here and complain. You know why? Hey, Stefan. You know why? Because it's other people here with ailments and, shit wrong with them, you know? So I don't come in here and talk about all the shit that's wrong with me. And and then yesterday I just learned a valuable lesson. Like you just gotta push through no matter what, you know? Because at the end of the day, I'm sure I am looking forward to that check because I didn't go nowhere. And I actually ended up having a pretty light day work wise. Um, because I mean just because that's the way work went. But if I went by how I felt like a fool having tripped and stumbled and fell out in the street on my knees. So I wasn't ready for that. And oh my God, my knee was so swollen. Had to put ice on and elevate it. And I don't have any medication. I'm still fighting for medication to treat multiple conditions. They don't give you opioids anymore for pain. So I had to deal with it. And the way I dealt with it, I put ice on it, elevated it, and tried my best to go to sleep. But I brought up women of a particular age because I hear another content creator use that term a lot. Speaking of older people, and like I can understand where they coming from, and I know that they kind of using it, in an endearing way a little bit, so I don't take full offense. But I do feel a way when I keep hearing that term being used because one thing our generation failed to do was really establish a line that could be drawn for what you can expect or not expect from people of a particular age. Now, I'm a child born in the 60s. So my predecessors, they are the ones who was burning their bras and said F the government. Um, I like it. I like it. I can't complain. My biggest battle was things that I done had to deal with. It. Good morning, Yolanda. Things that I done had to deal with for years and years as being an untreated, undiagnosed person with ADD. And and I resent how much difficulty I have gone through in getting proper treatment for that condition. I resent people, even to this day, people still, scoff at it being, even an illness. And it's insulting because if you deal with it, it's debilitating. The negative aspects of it is debilitating. And I have lost employment on some of the negative aspects of that condition. For me, um, because I did plenty of research over decades, because I didn't get diagnosed until my son got diagnosed. My son got diagnosed, and I started reading literature on how to be a better parent to a child with this, that particular condition, attention deficit disorder. I kept saying, wow, they talking about me. They talking about me. So it was more of a self-diagnosis initially. But once I had educated myself, I really thought it was going to be easy to go into a doctor and say, look, doc, I feel like this is me. I feel like this is what I have. I have been ruled out by 3 doctors. One of them said it was because I could hold a conversation without blurting out. But little did he know, in my family, that was their biggest complaint about me. You always blurting out. You cut me off. You blurt out. You cut me off. You blurting out. Constantly heard that complaint. But because I was in a doctor's setting, a formal setting, and I could hold an intellectual conversation. Hey, Kareem, how you doing? I was ruled out. Then the other male doctor, I forgot what he said, his reasoning for ruling me out. So that's the unfortunate thing. Even to this day, women are most likely not going to be diagnosed or misdiagnosed with something else because they love to put everything on depression. Well, one of my symptoms that's debilitating and really have caused harm in my life to the point where I have actually lost real jobs is because whenever I'm sitting in a passive situation, that's like I'm in a passenger seat driving, say like I'm in a lecture, in a college lecture, webinar or something, and I'm just sitting there passively, or church. You know how many of y'all go to church on a regular? I have not yet stayed awake through an entire church sermon, no matter how interested I was in the topic, because sitting passively is the number one reason will make me want to doze off. And so um, some things I blamed on being of a particular age. And I'm here to tell you those things were happening in my life at a very early age. I got away with sleeping in church till about the age of 8 or 9, because my grandma used to let me just go ahead and snooze and all that. But as you got older, then it was, Naomi, wake up, Naomi, tap, 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 Naomi, wake up. I do prefer versus medical doctors because they treat the whole body. Well, I'm going to go to a neurologist because I'm tired of the discrimination. Because recently I tried to get re-prescribed the medication that had been working for me for over 10 years with no side effects, nothing that I was complaining about, that, was of significant that would make me want to change off of it. And it brought into my world something significant in which I was able to stay awake and alert, the wakefulness all day. I feel like the doctors got annoyed because they was like, well, we don't give out medicine to help you stay awake. That's insulting to me because when I talk to other people with ADD, that's common. I'm in lots of groups online, and they talk about it, that I can't hold or sustain attention when I'm in a passive situation. I got to be moving and doing something. Then I stay awake. If I'm just sitting passively, as if I'm on a bus ride, it wouldn't matter if I had 2 weeks of sleep straight, 10 hours each day. If I'm sitting passively, I'm going to fall asleep. So that's been the hardest thing that I've had to deal with on this job. So I plan to um, have a sit down with a supervisor, especially particularly if they don't allow me to get the prescription for Adderall, which worked for me for years. I'm going to explain my situation because I don't want to lose this job. I actually enjoy doing the job because it's easy. It's easy work. It ain't been nothing that's, I got to strain my brain, or it's just so, time, uh, time associated where I'm, where I'm under stress and I got to do it by a particular time. It's just pretty laid back and everybody is friendly and nice. And okay, that makes sense. Medical teams are not very people oriented, and that look at us. And yeah, they look at us in parts, especially here in Springfield, because they have a meth epidemic. So they see a fat black woman. We just look like a whole walking, talking disease factory. We just gotta have diabetes. We just gotta have high blood pressure. I kept telling them my blood pressure was high because it was situational. One, I had walked 2 blocks, a fat black woman, so she out of breath and her heart is beating faster because she just physically engaged in walking to the doctor, at the doctor's walking distance. But I get getting myself set up to go to a neurologist. Um, and I picked a female. I picked a female on purpose because I didn't get the official correct diagnosis until I went to a female doctor. And I even asked that doctor, I said, well, you must have people in your family with it. What made you go into this field? And she said her response was no, it wasn't because I had any family members in it. I went into it because women notoriously get mistreated as far as getting treatment for conditions, and so she focused on this area because women notoriously don't get the right diagnosis. If you got a little girl, she not gonna necessarily have the H part of ADHD because people love to say ADHD. I don't have the H, which is why I thought I didn't have it because I could sit down in my seat quietly. I don't, I didn't get up and down sharpening the pencils 100 times and doing flips and cartwheels like my son did. Um, I never had that part of it. I'm not hyper. So we get misdiagnosed because the worst we doing, the girls who have attention deficit disorder, and it's the inattentive kind. I have inattentive type 2. You'll find that child staring out the window, easily distracted in the classroom. She's not going to be disruptive, but at the same time, still suffer the same symptoms as her hyper counterpart, as far as the rest of the symptoms go with that condition. So I'm going to, in self-defense, get up as often as I got to get up to stay awake. That's how I'm going to handle it, at least, for the next week or so until I get in to see the neurologist, and pray that they listen and hear me out and resume my, prescription for Adderall, because Adderall was effective. It worked. And to take it away from me because I'm fat, I really do think they see black women as, just walking, talking diseases. They just see us as that. When you walk into a doctor's office, they already got you summed up. Obesity, automatically, you got diabetes. No, diabetes kill the skinny motherfuckers too, okay? Don't get it twisted. Hey, Wayne, how you doing? Yeah, I definitely have ADD. I did plenty of research. I followed Dr. Amen. Was the first book that I read, and I said, I see all of this in my family. My definitely have family members that I was discussing it with, and as I was discussing it, they was going, me too, me too, me too. People that I had ruled out that I didn't think have it, because they was neat, way more neat and organized than I was. But they said the neat and organized was self-defense because they had to survive. So that was their coping mechanism, to be hyper neat, over neat. Same thing with time. I had a bad problem with time, have no sense of time. So I don't shoot for getting to work on time. I get to work early. Like now, I was here an hour early. That's why I hopped on this live, because I'd rather be early than late. Yeah, I most definitely have ADD. All of my life experience, and I also resent doctors because they think their clinical experience is superior than life experience. But if you live with somebody who got the condition and you yourself got the condition, I feel like you are more of an expert than a damn doctor. I wonder if you can do something naturally that will help. Natural. Look here, I went to GNC yesterday to get something, a supplement that hopefully, worked. But it seemed like it worked kind of yesterday, but I found myself dozing again. And so it's not strong enough, or maybe I have to increase the amount of it. Um, and yeah, I definitely got to omit certain foods. I fell off with a Dr. Savy eating, primary fruits and vegetables because my family is around me now and they all don't want to do the all veggie thing. So that damn meat. Hey, Keisha, how you doing? Work is okay. In fact, I'm about to get off in a few minutes because it's time for me to start. I just want to get on here, speak about women of a particular age. Look here, we ain't ready for the grave yet. Why these folks got us 1 foot in the grave already? That's crazy. And then they have an expectation of our behavior to be a certain way. But then it's okay because you're younger to be a complete asshole online. That don't make no sense to me. To me, if when you make that statement of a particular age, I feel like if you pass the age of 18, you need to be on here acting like you got some sense. Oh, Keisha, you know what? I didn't even check my email. I've been so busy with this job. I literally collapse when I get home. But I will check it. I will check it today. I will check it today because I do really want to talk to you. So I'm just getting on here saying that you might be in my same situation and not understanding why you keep making the same mistakes with your job or with school or whatever. And you may have be undiagnosed ADD. And in fact, it's very common for a person to self-diagnose before they ever get an official diagnosis from a doctor, because a doctor is quick to make it be depression or something else. If you're a woman, doctors clump you as depressed or being depressed or the symptoms stemming from depression. And I be pissed off when they do that, because I say I don't get depressed until I forget something, don't follow through with something, don't pay close enough attention to details on something, and then lose something significant like a job or a friendship or something significant. Then I get depressed. Don't you have to be depressed in order to get the diagnosis of depression? Depression don't last for me. Yeah, I do have to get used to working. It's hard to make the adjustment every day, because at home, what I would do if I ever did anything physical, I take the next day to recover. But I'm scheduling back to back to back. I might have to ask for that day off to recover, but I don't want to mess that up because, honey, the money is good. And so I really don't want to mess that up. So in any hour they schedule me, I'm trying to be here and trying to hang. So today I brought my chair. It's officially going to be used on the job. After fighting 10 years, Mona Simone got to want to donate to her $6,000 chair she needs temporarily. Well, here go my work chair. They was looking at me kind of crazy. But this the only chair tall enough. My knees, when I fell, I hurt myself, fell on both knees. Boom. And sitting down in those chairs that was too low for me was terrible. It made the situation worse. So anyway, now it's time for me to start. I'm at the mosey my stuff on in here and get ready for a full day of work. And plus, when I found out, when you work later than 5, I'm here till 9, you get paid more. Oh, nay. I'm trying to be here every single hour I can get. Okay? Anyway, y'all, I just wanted to come in here, check in. I try to come on, later on, but usually after this job, that's it. That's all I wrote. And so I'm just gonna try to make that money while I got a chance to make that money. I ain't mad at me. So anyway, y'all, I'm about to get up out this video. Don't want to be late after being here early. Getting here early. It'd be messed up if I get late now because I'm distracted by this live. But I'm glad y'all checked in. And I'm going to go ahead and try to have a great day. Peace and love. I'll see y'all again in the next one.